Perfect Footy rated my stream with 6 viewers.
Welcome in, Raiders. I'm not even ready. Thank you for the raid, Perfect Footy. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you and to all your Raiders. For those who are new here, my name is Mitmat. I am in Darwin, Northern Territory here in Australia. And I mainly do tech streams here on Twitch and YouTube. So, yes. And unfortunately, I've just started the stream, so ads will be coming up very, very soon. But I hope you're doing well, Perfect. Yeah, thank you for the raid. Yeah, there we go, ads. Oh, shit. Wow, okay. Ooh. Okay. All right, just checking Siri bot. I've just been informed that I have to re-authenticate. And just checking, I have 0 bots. So hooray. Okay. While we wait for the ads to run, if you're still around, thank you. If not, all good. Yes. A new year. It's a brand new year. So far, pretty chill. Nothing bad has happened. So, all good. Okay. But I do have some parts that's arrived. It arrived late a couple weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. But I just got so busy with the photo booth that I didn't have time to unbox it. Yes. So instead of, for those who aren't aware, there was a family trip planned to go to Thailand later this month. However, that's now changed, and we are now instead going to Vietnam. So it's only a very short trip. Well, short in a sense, so it's only 11 days, at least in Vietnam, and then 2 days either side in Singapore. So, yes. Oh, man. Oh, we'll wait for the raid, but anyways, thank you, Wigman, for tuning in. I have received my part that I ordered from AliExpress. It took about 3 weeks for it to arrive. So this is a remote handle for my gimbal from SmallRig. So this will allow me to have wireless control to control the gimbal. Now, I already have a remote. However, it's how should we say, it's it's not as ergonomic. There you go, that's the word, ergonomic. All right, let me get my gimbal and all the equipment. I'll be back. Cinematic, so we need to push forward, raise, oh yes, the cinematic clip. All right, this is the Tilter lightweight shoulder rig. Now I have also added some extra attachments to this. So originally, in order to adjust the arm position here, you would have to undo this knob, rotate, and then lock down. And that action is fine. However, I needed something that would be quick. So I've bought these attachments here. These are ratchet style attachments. So instead of me having to undo um, the the knob here, I'll just pull down on this lever and then rotate to a position, release the lever, and it will lock in place. So this is pretty much a quick, or this attachment allows for quick repositioning without having to undo the knob. Monkey, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I have also, so I have one on the left side and one on the right side. So in a configuration like this, I can adjust both these arms so that it is a very quick movement to change positioning of these arms. So yeah, this is the Tilta lightweight shoulder rig. Now the attachment, the handle that I have for the gimbal is this. Now unfortunately there isn't a way for me to connect this to the existing arm mechanism here. So I have purchased a few more other items. Yes, it is quite a rig. If you look up, or I can look it up as well. If you look up the movie The Creator, which I think was released in 2023, they utilized a rig that I've been inspired from. That's very similar to what I'm using. Is they have a shoulder mounted platform, and then they used a 3-axis gimbal to provide smooth motion. Now, for those who are unaware, for a 3-axis gimbal is usually single-handed. You can attach more arms if you wanted to, but when utilizing bigger camera rigs, you add more weight, and all that weight is on your arms, and it does get you get muscle fatigue very quickly. So I think having the traditional shoulder mounted system while also utilizing the 3-axis gimbal smooth movement has added a bit more benefit to that situation without the fatigue from carrying heavy equipment. So this is the simplistic version. The gimbal I will attach, lock down, and that is the gimbal now. Now if I just disengage the motors, the camera will fit here. So the reason why I purchased the motor, the remote, you can never bring yourself to carry a gimbal. Yeah. If you are able to work out your hands or arms, then yes. With a bigger gimbal setup, then yes. So this is part of a reason why I've decided to opt to get this type of rig. So yes. So again, I've purchased this remote to maybe somehow attach to this handle so I can still have control on the gimbal while not having to reach up to the existing control panel of the gimbal. I can control it wirelessly from my handle down here. So let's look into that now. Let me just disconnect all these items. There's a button here. Yeah, you don't remember what camera was attached, but back then, but I was mostly using pockets, so the weight difference was huge. Yeah, indeed. Okay, let me just quickly check the top down, see if we have it active. It is, but we need to zoom. Okay, top down. All right, so I might just remove this arm here. I'm thinking of having it on the right hand because I'm used to, yeah, I think I'm used to controlling it with my right hand. So I'll just remove the arm. Makes things a lot easier on the table. A while back, you ended up using a gimbal clamp, took a stuntman chest mount along some longer bolts and nylon, and then bolted the clamp. Oh, yeah, okay. That will definitely work, and it will also save weight as well. So, yeah. Nice, nice. Yeah, so I have used the gimbal, not for like long periods though, for like maybe 5 minutes at a time. So probably wasn't, yeah, but you know, you use what you can to get your workflow efficient. So, but much better than if you had no, yeah. So it's better to have some form of stabilization. So Ted, welcome on in. I'm good, man. Happy New Year to you, and also to everyone in chat. Happy New Year to everyone as well. And yeah. All right, yeah, that's from YouTube. So welcome on in from YouTube land. Nice. So now I'm just tinkering with some equipment that I have just received. Well, I haven't had a chance to look into. So yeah, so I have the right sided arm linkage from my tilter shoulder rig, and I'm going to attempt to install this small wig wireless remote designed for the RS3 Pro. So there are those things called stabilizers. Yes, the Steadicams. They require a lot more skill to work properly. So yeah. Yes. Yes. All right. So this is the original handle. So I also have another one of these ratchet rosette modules that I've also purchased. They come in a set of 2, and I bought 2 sets. So what this will allow me, so I already have one built into the upper mount, so I might install it on the handle side as well. But let me now remove this. Okay, and now we will install this ratchet mechanism here. Hopefully this is the right tool. I'm pretty sure I took the right tool. Yeah, it feels like it. All right, let me adjust it so that I have the access via the thumb. All right, so this is a rosette mount. And what it allows is the ability to attach an item, and with these grooves, the item won't rotate because it's all interlocked with each side to force it to stay in that position. So that is the rosette mount itself. Now, this handle has the NATO rail accessory as the attachment points on both sides, as well as a 1/4 thread on top. Rosette, yes. Oh, okay. This I need to. Is that locked down? Okay. So we need that. I think I might have done it too tight. So, I don't know if this will work because I've purchased it, but without checking everything physically. So I've installed a ratchet rotating rosette mount. Now, again, this is a NATO rail, so they don't natively connect to each other. So I've also purchased separately this rosette to NATO piece of equipment. So what this will hopefully allow me to do is to attach this mount to this rosette plate, and then I should be able to then connect the small rig remote via its NATO rail. Right, let me lock that down. Tight. Okay. Now, NATO rails are quite universal, so or not? What happened? What's happening? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I think it's just being like literally out of the box, brand new. Everything feels a bit tight. All right, and now locking this down. So now we should have the ability. Ooh, okay. Should now have the ability to rotate this remote handle. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to have to readjust the mount here because right now the actual thumb mechanism of this rosette rotation module is 90 degrees higher than what I need to in order to comfortably engage so that I can rotate this entire thing. All right, so let's undo. We'll now go downwards. We'll now rotate this, and now we will rotate this to a 90-degree position in a way that my thumb has access to the paddle to activate the rotation of this adapter. Okay, let's now slide upwards, not too close to disengage this button. All right, now let's lock down this mount. So now I should have control. Although maybe my thumb isn't as long. So in order for me to reach it, I need to full on reposition my hand up by a centimeter, which may cause an issue with accidental depression. So if I put it here, so if I rotate this more, then put it, okay, yep. I'm learning. Okay, so now we need to rotate it more upwards. Two. Yeah, or get like a thimble to fit over my thumb. So if I put it like that, then no, I need at least for it to be, or you need a fin longer. Corrupt, welcome on in. Happy New Year to you as well. Okay. So now let's go here. We'll now lock this down. All right, so hopefully I now have the ability to rotate this handle, and then we have an upper mechanism as well on the setup. So unfortunately now this handle is no longer being used. Put that aside. And now we will reattach the right linkage arm to this setup. Wait, should I? Yeah, you know, it should be fine. It should be fine. Yeah, I'll now have a spare handle. So let's reposition in the pin. All right. So this is the original handle, which is on the left side, and the new handle, which is the small rig remote to control the gimbal, is now on the right side. So now if I have it now in a shoulder configuration, but say I needed to go down low, I will reposition. I then can either rotate this handle like this, and then if I have the camera in some kind of a position in a low angle, I still have access to the remote, or I can reposition the whole arm and then reposition the hand like this, and then have it so that I have a handle still be able, while still holding the entire rig. Okay, let's, I'm not really happy with where I've placed the thumb on this setup, on this arm. Oh, we'll figure it out. All right, so that is the handle bit done with the attachments. Reverse handle, maybe. Oh shit. Okay. Let's now reattach the gimbal. Where the arms point upwards for low angles. Oh, quite possibly, yeah. All right, so now, now that I've attached the gimbal back onto the shoulder rig, it's now front heavy. This is where now I'm going to install my V-mount battery plate on the rear, so that when I attach my V-mounts, it will then add weight on the rear to hopefully balance out the entire rig. It's getting quite heavy. I'll live. So this is a rig that I have assembled together to provide a V-mount battery to a V-mount battery plate, and then attaching a camera on top, so that I'm able to utilize the long battery capacity of this V-mount to provide the attached camera long runtime power. And then this entire thing will just attach to a standard tripod for a stationary static shot, which just requires a long battery runtime. So, but I'm going to utilize the V-mount of this plate, or this rig, And now I'm going to attach it. The only way I can attach it at this present moment is upwards. I don't think these arms are long enough to flip this the other way. But all right, now we have a battery pack on the rear of the shoulder rig. Will give us a more balanced setup. And we have this top handle here, so I can hopefully get some adjustments made. Or should we have the battery pointed that way? Maybe. All right, it's fine. All right, I'm now going to attach the small rig receiver, which will connect to the side of the RS3 Pro in order for the external remote to communicate. Okay, so that's that one. Don't know. Don't know yet. Okay, is it that way? Yeah, I think it looks like it's that way. Okay. Oof. I don't know where I've placed my my luggage meter, but it's probably just for this without the camera. I'm gonna say 5 kilos, but that's with the battery. So yeah, I think it feels like about 5 kilos. All right, let me get a camera so we can test to see if this handle from small rig is able to correctly communicate with the RS3 Pro. Damn, I don't have much room on the table, and it's not going to show as easily on camera. Up you go. Oh shit, that's a full cup. Okay. Whew. Gotta work the quads, yeah. Low back. Alright. Oh, one thing I've also got myself bought after Christmas and before New Year's, and because Officeworks was having a sale, is one of those plastic platforms you put on the floor so that when you roll your chair, it's a lot more smoother. So I'm able to swivel back and forth, slide back and forth more easily, because this household has tiles. So yeah, and I'm able to slide back and forth without the chair going clunk. Right, this might be the most easiest angle. Well, it's the most widest. So this is the Panasonic BGH1, and with a 40mm Suri anamorphic lens. However, with the top handle and the side handle, it's a bit too heavy for the RS3 Pro. So now going to judo chop, remove all these attachments. So we have the camera in its bare minimum form, and I will also now attach this battery. It's only got 2 bars left. That's all right. All right, so we've attached this battery. The carpet is now on concrete. You should have gotten one. Oh, yeah. yeah, it's the one I got was, it's not long, it's not big. It's just enough for me to slide the chair forward and back, because that's how much room I've got. I think it's 27 bucks. Let me try to look it up in this configuration. Office works floor mat. So yeah, every time I've seen it, it's always been like 50 bucks. But then when I saw this one, it was only $26. So this is designed for, oh, Jesus, what's hard floor. So you can get one that has the small nibs that you can attach to, or you can lay over carpet, whereas this one is designed for like hardwood floors and stuff like that. So I've gotten this one, and the sizing is, I think, good enough for what I'm working with at the moment. So yeah, for those who are interested, this is what I have managed to get myself. And it's just made things a lot quieter. So yeah. Oh, fish eye. All right, let's now get this here. I'll just remove the lens cap. We will now attach this camera to this gimbal. Let me screw that down. Right. All right. I'm just checking to see how much room I have. Unfortunately, it is shifted by about 1 mil forward, so it's always pointing downwards, and that's because the back end of the camera from this battery is hitting on one of the attachments of the actual shoulder rig, and not necessarily the gimbal unit itself. I could probably shift the entire thing forward, the entire gimbal setup forward more. So all right, now we have the camera, the gimbal, we have the V-mount battery with the V-mount battery plate, and just make sure my back of the chair doesn't whack anything. And I now have a D-tap to 2-pin LiPo, I think it's called, and that will attach to this module that I have purchased for the RS3 Pro. I just have to remember which port I need to plug into. Okay, will that work? Okay, let's now 1, 2, 3. I'll just check if this plate is on. I see a blue light, and we have 4 bars on the V-mount battery. Just make sure that's locked down. All right, let's now power on the gimbal. Okay, the gimbal is now powered up, and oh god, okay, this is heavy. All right, so now I want to test to see if the new remote that I've purchased can actually control the gimbal. Oh, I need to power on the remote. Okay, the remote is now powered on. Now let me push the joystick to the right, to the left, nothing. I know that there was a bit of mucking around to try and pair the remote to the gimbal, or to the receiver. So let me just put this down without it falling off the table. All right, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I've installed this correctly. No, so the Mini require you. Where's the maybe main camera? Nope. Wait, where's the Brio? Oh no, that's taken over. Right, I need another camera. None of these cameras are movable. Oh, right, here we go. There should be a HDMI cable somewhere. Okay, let me plug in this camera, and I'll just, unless no battery, just my luck. Okay, give me a sec.
Unless you've got power!
All right, let's go to Cam Link 4. All right, so let me just rotate this. So this is the center of the gimbal. So you need to make sure that your side NATO rail mounts have these pins. That is how this receiver is able to communicate with the actual gimbal unit itself. So I don't believe the minis have that port. So let's turn that off. Why aren't you shutting? Okay, there we go. No, yeah. Unfortunately, the Mini doesn't have any of those pins. They do have the NATO rail, so you can, attach stuff to it, but not necessarily those pins. So I think the remote, or this type of remote, is only available with the Pro series. I don't know if it's even available with the main series, because there's, say for instance, the RS4 Mini, the RS4, and then the RS4 Pro. So I don't know if the standard RS4 has those pins. So yeah, because I've only looked for the Pro versions. If you were to purchase the RS2, because the way that DJI has labeled most of their equipment is, so when the RS2 came out, they only released two versions, RS2 and then RSSC2, I think it was. But then in the third generation iteration, they released the RS3 Mini, RS3, and then the RS3 Pro. Now, in comparison, the RS2 is equivalent to the RS3 Pro, and then now it's the fourth generation in naming convention. So, yeah, from 2 jumping into 3, the naming and labeling shifted in a way where it does get confusing. Where if you say the RS2, people will think, oh, that's the standard version, not the Mini or not the Pro. But in reality, the RS2 is the Pro. But this is going back 2 generations of gimbals. So for the DJI RS series. let me get the instructions and have a look. Yes, so if you need to save up, or just get the RS3 Pro. If you don't need the AI tracking accessory, I think that's a better option. You know, it's an older technology, but it's well built. It's pretty robust. So let me just quickly read the instructions, because there is a specific way for this receiver attachment to, yeah, but it's designed to be used for like cinematic type shooting. Also, welcome in Flying Kiwi, happy new year to you as well. And where the fuck yeah, these two receivers look exactly the same. Yeah, as long as I don't get them mixed up, then they should be fine. Lock that down. Yeah, the DSLR cameras, well, depends on when you got them. The older DSLR cameras, unfortunately, were prone to overheating. All right, I've got it. OHEM gimbal and S24. Yeah, true. All right, I've got everything working. Everything's powered up. Let me switch over to this camera so it's easy to see, or maybe not. And I don't have a wireless mic. I do, I just don't have one connected. All right, this is the gimbal or shoulder rig setup. The Tilter lightweight shoulder rig with the DJI RS3 Pro gimbal. The Panasonic BG-H1 with the 40mm anamorphic lens. We also have a V-mount battery on the rear of this rig. And Grace, welcome in. Happy New Year as well. And with this new attachment that I've purchased, I'm able to now remote control the gimbal without having to take my hand off the actual gimbal itself. So this is yeah. And the reason why I chose to go with this type of setup is I don't have the arm strength to carry, or sorry, to hold the RS3 Pro for a prolonged period of time. Whereas this, I can probably hold it for like a good hour, you know, and then repositioning from like a chest level height, we can go high. And I think, yeah, we're pretty good. And then again, with the remote, we can rotate. I think we can roll. No, we can't. So we can rotate to a certain level, and then we can recenter, tilt up. Sorry, yeah, tilt down, center. Yeah, I think, what are they called? There are two versions that I'm aware of the backpack style stabilizers. The FX30 and the RS3 killed you weight wise. Yeah, so that's why I've decided to opt with this type of configuration. It's not as what would you say, nimble as a full gimbal. It doesn't give you that freedom to go full up and down, but yeah. So here we can, and say we need to go into a low angle, say the table was the ground, I can hopefully be able to readjust this linkage and then be able to still control the gimbal head with the remote that's now attached to this side. And then if I wanted to, for some reason, if I needed to tilt it that way, and then I can do a quick reposition. And then here, if I needed to carry it in, so you can see my thumb, I'm now pushing to the left, and then now pushing to the right. Oh yeah, it's locked. Yeah. Oh, damn it. So I don't actually know how much this entire thing weighs. Let me see if I can find that measuring thing that I use for my luggage. Hold. Stay. Don't you fall off. Jesus. Oh, got it. Cool, 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 cool. No, the X3000 is the action camera for IRL. This is the Panasonic BG-H1 with the Siri 40mm anamorphic lens. That's designed for micro four thirds. All right, I've got the luggage weight thing here. I'm just trying to figure out the best position to place this. All right, let's try without everything. No, that's not the center bit. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Okay. It should be safe, but because the weight's all front heavy, it's causing it to fall forward a bit too much. Right, I'll turn off the gimbal, but the weight will still be on it. Okay, let me readjust the top handle. Seven 7.3. 7.3. 7.3 kilos. Yes. Whew. He was watching show speed. Oh, is he on? Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I wouldn't say drunk. I was drinking and then I just got tired and went to bed. It's crazy seeing 3 setups like that running around for IRL stream. If you have the money, if you have the money, you can do literally anything. He only needs 2 more to go. He had a drone, 3 cameramen, and GoPros everywhere, and he still had tech issues. Yeah, because to be honest, I don't think something that he has, or at least with his crew, that they really need to test all their stuff out. To be honest, because it seems like whenever they're doing like new stuff, there's always going to be tech issues. Yeah, it is pretty much a TV production, but I don't think they have like a supervisor, if that makes sense, who would literally just oversee everything that's happening. There was a scene, I can't remember where. iShow Speed was learning how to cook a kebab, I think, and he was listening to the chef. You know, this is in a deli of some sort. I think it was in the US. He was listening to the deli. He was listening to the cook hand, or the owner cooking, explaining how to cook everything. But then his internal mic power, the power of the internal mic, deactivated or turned off, right? And literally everyone in chat was spamming, "Mike's dead, Mike's dead. He's muted, Mike's dead, Mike's dead." And it took about 3.5 minutes until his main camera dude, Splits, came in and told him, "Mike's dead." CFB, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. By the way, CFB, I do like your layout for Discord. It's very clean. It's very, very clean. Yeah. So, it wasn't also Happy New Year as well, CFB. It took about 3.5 minutes till one of his camera person came in to change out the battery on his mic. So that was insane how long it took. So I wasn't really, there was no one on the ball about that, which is crazy. I would have thought someone would be monitoring the stream like that. But apparently it took 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes for someone to come in to let them go down. Yeah. Oh, the money. Yeah, the money's, yeah. But they need, for a production like that, you would expect, things to, at least in some form, be professional about it. Yeah. And there was another clip that I watched where iShow Speed was in some kind of, not a department store, sort of like a store of some kind, right? And then someone phones in to that exact store to talk to iShow Speed, and he's just telling him, you've got all these people around you. His brother, he's got all these crew, security guards, production crew. Yet every stream, his phone is always dying. Every stream, when he wants water, no one is carrying water. And every stream, when he does like a runoff competition, no one has the correct shoes for him. So, and then you think about it, it's like, yeah, that's three things. Pair of shoes, running shoes that he could do the competition, bottle of water, and a power bank. Those are 3 things that I guess every second person could carry in a backpack, right? Just for those moments. And there's always downtime because he has to stop, wait for his phone to charge or whatnot, or he loses a running match because he wasn't wearing the correct shoes, So it's just, yeah. When that I don't know if it was a random dude, but when that dude talked to him over the phone in that building, it kind of like, yeah, he has all these people. Let's not talk about money. It's just people. He has all these people there, yet no one is carrying anything like that. I don't know if it's changed. Unfortunately haven't caught a recent stream. So, yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, for what they do, yeah, I would not envy to be in that type of situation to just push away screaming fans. It sort of reminds me of the Entourage and the Carry-Ons. Yeah. I mean, if the whole point of doing this show is to move forward with the production while live, you know, things change on an instant. Like a camera battery dies or a mic battery dies. Those are two things that you can literally put in your pocket, right? Anyone of his entourage can be carrying that. So it's like, why aren't they? But yeah, the drone thing. Although, again, depending on the laws and regulations of each country, state, and location and region, there is only so many times you can fly a drone. So nice. How's that going, by the way? Have you managed to work out the thermal issues or no? Flying Kiwi. Yeah, if you saw some of my clips during the B-Roll back scenes, I was droning while having a front-face camera. That was using Moblin. So that was also being used in a location where reception or normal 4G, 5G reception was just shit house. So yeah, I'm glad that that particular section of that stream was uninterrupted. So yeah. It's resolved. You added management and it will drop better rates if the phone gets too hot. Oh, nice. So, yeah, I am. So, just slowly going back to this. Oh, jeez, 7 kilos. 7 kilos, folks. And this is all inspired by the creator. They call it the octopus rig. Big rig. All right, let me power it on. This is not for IRL. Okay, this is not for IRL. Jesus. Carrying 7 kilos on your shoulder. So now I have the ability to control the gimbal up, down, left, and right with this remote. I also now have the ability to change the remote to a different angle if I need to, using these quick rosette adjustment devices that I've also purchased as an extra purchase for this rig. So yeah, this is not an IRL setup. Yeah, but I am in the process of, you know, money's a bit tight because of the upcoming trip. I was planning to purchase the 20mm anamorphic lens for this setup, but at the moment, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm not going to bring this on my trip either. Yeah. So now I'm thinking of maybe having the ability to do. So if I now switch this into this mode, I don't know what would you call this mode. I now have the ability to control the gimbal head, well, as long as it doesn't hit my head, like a standard gimbal. Yeah, this was all purchased throughout the year. So money is now tight. Okay. Let's now... So I need to figure out a way to somehow mount this on a tripod in this configuration. So then we can utilize this as a standard 3-axis gimbal with a remote head. Oh, shit. Wrong way, wrong way. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ooh. Okay, I can feel a slight vibration. That's generally the gimbal itself not balanced correctly. Crane level, yeah. But I think I could probably shave off maybe 500 from the battery, because this is a 190 watt hour battery. So if I switch it over to a 99 watt hour battery, I might be able to shave some kilos, or sorry, some grams, or even just use a different camera. But this is the camera that I have purchased to use with anamorphic lenses, and it is also Netflix approved. So yeah. Right, let me power down. Whew, I've worked up a sweat. Where's the lid? Lens cap. How dare you? Right, where's the lens cap? Oh, there it is. Right in front of me. Okay. Whew. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yes, the weight does help counterweight the entire rig on the shoulder, so it's not too front heavy. Okay. Where are we? So I've talked about that. Oh, the rig. I should wait. I can design something and print something out today. Okay. Let's see here. Oh yeah, okay. What are you actually planning on shooting with that? Not necessarily interviews, because it's a bit much. Probably a short film of some sort. Yeah, I want to try and attempt to do a short film, just utilizing that equipment, but I need to now get a script, or at least an idea, right? Media Tech, welcome on in. Happy New Year. Just assembled a shoulder rig with my RS3 Pro and my Panasonic BG-H1 for a inspired setup from the movie The Creator. Yeah. But let's see. I was gonna do a couple things. I just can't remember what I was planning to do. I went live, showed that off. Oh, yep. So this is one of the devices I was previously working on last week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I've, based on the existing adapters, I designed this 3D printed case to incorporate the use of a single USB webcam input and be able to stream using the wrist protocol, which I have purchased a service for. Now that I have recently acquired a different device, this here is a Moogood USB Type-C hub with power delivery pass-through. I'm now able to utilize this one hub to provide input for power to the board, as well as provide input from a USB camera such as the Action 4 or the Pocket 3, as well as providing an extra 2 USB Wi-Fi adapters for a total of 3 Wi-Fi connections that this board is able to connect to. Now, if I was to utilize just this adapter with this board, that is how small it is, and we'll connect power into this port to provide power to the hub as well as to the board. And this USB Type-C port, we were able to provide a USB webcam input, so everything is attached to this one hub. Now, unfortunately, because of the way this hub is physically attached to this board, this USB Type-C port is no longer available to be used. So what I have also purchased is essentially a U-shaped USB Type-C adapter, and it's going to arrive in about another 4 more days if Amazon says that. So what this will allow me to do is to attach and rearrange the hardware to sit. Oh, hey, actually, it should be the black one. Yep. Oh, no, the black one should be on top. There we go. So what this will allow me to do is to now add this hub to the underside of the board to keep this entire system more slimlined, or have a smaller footprint overall. And then we just need to whack on a fan on top to keep the board cool, and that is the entire unit with the ability of 2 USB Wi-Fi modems, or sorry, 2 USB Wi-Fi adapters, as well as the ability to provide pass-through power through the hub. And now we have the ability to utilize this USB Type-C port. And then we have an extra USB Type-C port available if we need to connect any other devices, such as a USB Type-C to Ethernet adapter if we were to connect to a Ethernet internet connection, or if we wanted to connect a third USB Wi-Fi adapter via the USB-C port. This is quite fat, whereas the new one will be, I think, 2/3 of this size, so it'll be quite slimmer. So keep everything in a very compact type situation. So that is one of the ideas. Whether or not this U-shaped adapter will actually work is a question that I will answer once it arrives. You sound some wrist relays. Yes. So the relays I'm currently using for wrist is from, I think it's just three A's. Yeah. So the wrist endpoint relay I have purchased as a monthly subscription is from Ira Hosting, and that is provided at a price of fat. Jesus, why is this how to look? Yeah, okay, fine. Should I just remove it then? Tools, scripts, OBS zoom to mouse. Let's let's delete that so we don't continue to get that warning. So irlhosting.com offers a monthly wrist service for $5.99, whereas they also offer an SRTLA or BellaBox cloud service for $10 a month. I'm not sure who else offers wrist endpoints. Yeah, but another thing as well, another platform that has advertised cloud-based OBS setups. So this is from IRL Hosting, $60 a month for 1080p 60 with an included relay as well. Another company, so this is IRL Hosting, another company called IRL Kit is now offering a $50 a month pricing for cloud-based OBS with an included SRTLA endpoint, but it's only limited to 1080p 30 frames per second, which at least for me is fine. Also incorporates drop protection and one streaming destination, which is okay for me because I'm pointing my current stream to Restream, and that then is pointing out to both YouTube and Twitch. So yes, usually prefer your build. True, that's true. Yeah, I know a few other Australian streamers who have decided to host their own endpoint servers. I know that Thunder Spanner has created his own SRT LA relay on his home machine. I've opted not to go into that because one, at the time when I looked at it, the instructions it was so much instructions just in order for this for it to work, and that just like, nah, I don't want to have to deal with that and just decided to just purchase the BellaBox cloud subscription per month, and that's worked out fine for me. And also as well, it's one less thing to worry about if stuff were to go wrong, right? Because even now with my current setup, stuff is always going wrong, and I have to go through my streaming PC to make sure that StreamerBot is working, make sure OBS is actually enabled and activated, make sure the knobs is also working as well. So many things, and that's just to get the streaming PC running as a relay. So yeah. Whereas to purchase a server service like the BellaBox Cloud, it's just so much easier. And I'm not entirely sure, because I haven't looked into it, I'm not entirely sure if you were to create your own SRTLA server on your home PC, are you still affected by the CGNAT limitations that some ISPs force onto some routers and locations, like people who live in apartment buildings or unit blocks, they're unable to acquire their own static IP unless they pay an exorbitant amount of money for. Whereas the BellaBox Cloud endpoint relay service bypasses all of that. So you don't need to go into do port forwarding. You don't need to create rules, inbound rules on your PC. You also don't need to keep an eye on your public IP as well. So yeah, okay. So if you were to set it up elsewhere, is that still going to cost you money? So that's the number one question that people have when they ask in some of the discords is, what's the best way so that you don't have to pay money? Or at least minimum amount of money. So, yeah. Unless you point to VPN. Ah, okay. I'm not as well versed in the land of VPN, except for Tailscale that I have used when I'm utilizing my multi camera rig in my backpack, which I haven't used in quite a while, but I did use it one time at one point last month to test out a V-mount battery plate, which I'm able to then tap into the USB-C ports on it. So, yeah. So I'm thinking of maybe just waiting for the U-shaped USB Type-C adapter to arrive before tinkering this any further. I mean, even in this is a very small platform that will be able to ingest a USB webcam and then push out a wrist setup. I've read that people who forget, unless that might have been AWS, the Amazon one. So you get an Oracle Cloud free VPS and host your relays on that. I don't know where to start. I do not know where to start in that regard. So yeah, that's a no for me. That's a no for me. Yeah. So before SRT was more, I guess, widely available, I was looking into trying to set up a RTMP one. And in some YouTube videos, they did go through the whole AWS method. But in some instances, with some people responding in Discord or Reddit, they forgot about the credit card systems. And when they used it, it smashed them with so much money. So, yeah. You'll build me one? Oh, maybe. I do, if I was to go down that route, I do want to understand it from start to finish. But at the present moment, I don't think I have the brain power to sit through that. I appreciate it. But that might be something in the future. How many relays can you put on to that cloud-free, the Oracle cloud-free VPS? Okay, so we don't need to do any more work on that until we wait for the parts to arrive. We can put all this adapters here. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. Are there any tutorials online that specifically go through the process of building your own and then also building the server relay? Because I don't know, I've seen one, but it was almost like an hour long. It was an hour long tutorial of creating your own SRT-LA server on a cloud-based system. You want 3 relays on yours? Oh, nice. And that would bypass the SIGNAT limitations implemented by some ISPs, right? If you were to host your own. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. I should put this away. Oh, no, we'll put it here for now. Okay. Let's look into another piece of tech that does bypass the SIGNAT. Okay, so that is probably a method for those who don't want to pay, which, totally understandable depending on the situation, but it does require, would you say it does require a high level of ability in order to set that up and run. Because I do find that some of the newer IRL, some of the new people who want to get into IRL streaming, but that one, they don't want to pay too much money or any money at all, and number two, they are pretty clueless with technology. So how would you go about in recommending or creating a tutorial for those people? What do you mean, you people? Okay. Okay. It does, well, it requires to know a bit. Bits, it's easy. So, okay. So someone like me, I guess I have the confidence to complete it. Whereas those people, what do you mean those people? May require a lot of hand holding, which, yeah, no. Unless you were to offer that as a service, yeah, I wouldn't want to wish that on anyone. All right. A few hours. Okay. I'll probably look into that later on, because at the present moment, I think I've got other things I want to look into. And let's now shift over to the next segment, I guess, of the stream. And that's still tinkering. But for those who are aware, I have been working on getting some setup rigs with Moblin and utilizing the Pocket 3 camera or the Action 4 camera to use as an external camera using the Moblin app. And I've been using my iPhone 11 Pro Max for that purpose. However, during the stream down at PAX back in October last year, it is last year, there were some instances where the stream was very stuttery within some areas of the PAX exhibition hall. Now, I believe that it was suggested that there may have been some other transmission devices within the venue that was being used by the venue that may have caused those issues. Now, Deadly TTV, who was with me down at PAX, was also utilizing a Moblin setup as well. I was watching a bit of his stream during the same period of time frame when I encountered some glitching, and it was probably caused by the video transmissions in the venue. His stream was also suffering from